Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another NRL tipping video. My name's Cody, and today I'm here to give you my Round 5 NRLW tips along with the Round 25 NRL tips. Last week for the women's side, I got a perfect round once again, 5 from 5. So two out of the 4 rounds so far, got perfect round. I'm pretty amazed by that, honestly. And as for the men's side, I managed to get my best in about 3 weeks now. I got 6 of 8 games correct for the men's side. Only Panthers and the Rabbitohs only cost me a perfect round. But other than that, did pretty well last week for tips. But now we are only in the last 3 rounds of the regular season of 2024. And pretty much I think the top 8 is locked and loaded for the finals, which kicks off in 3 weeks. But before we get there, let's get into the tips. But before we do that, if you guys are new around here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you guys are new around here, like the video, turn on those bell notifications so you don't miss out when I post a new video. Anyways, without further ado, we'll get into the women's tips first. So I'm just going to say what team who's playing who, and I will just select what team, and then we'll move on to the men's one. So Eels versus, so this is the women's side only first. Eels versus Knights, I will go to Knights 1-12. Raiders versus Cowboys, we will go to Cowboys to win 1-12. Titans versus Roosters, Roosters 13+. West Tigers versus Broncos, I will go to West Tigers to finally get their first win of the NRLW season to win 1-12. And for the last game, the Dragons versus Sharks, well, we will go the Sharks to win this one 1-12. So with that out of the way, that's the women's tips done, and let's get into the men's one. Alrighty, now let's get into the round 25 NRL tips. Now the first game kicking off at 7:50 PM from Leichhardt Oval. We have the 17th place and current potential wooden spooners, 17th place West Tigers, taking place against the 6th place Manly Warringah Sea Eagles. Manly having a great win last week, beating the Warriors at 4 Points Park last week, 24 points to 10. They were too good in that one. And as for the Tigers, well, unfortunately, they played my team and they won. The Tigers finally snapped their 6 or 7 game losing streak, and they beat us in a really shit game, 18-16 at Campbelltown last week. The first time ever the Tigers perhaps played at Campbelltown since the Tigers came into the comp. Anyway, the Manly are at $1.17 and the Tigers are at $5.10. In the past 10 games between the two, Manly have won. They've won 7 of the last 10 games, which includes winning the last 6 games in a row. Last time the Tigers won against Manly was in 2020, where they won 34-32 in a high-scoring affair. This game is also taking place at Leichhardt Oval. This will be the first time these two have played at Leichhardt against each other since 2019, where the Tigers won that one 20 points to 6. And also, Manly have not won at Leichhardt since 2007. 17 years. And when they won there, they won 19 points to 8 at the start of the 2007 season. That's ridiculous. But usually they play at Campbelltown a bit more than Leichhardt, but they always lose at Leichhardt for whatever reason. But I don't know, they just can't win Leichhardt for some reason. But anyways, Manly are locked in for the top 8 officially now. For this game, I'll go Manly to win 1-12 though. I think it's going to be a high score 1-12 game. Manly to win by 10. Scoreline will go 28-18. Try scorers for both teams. We will go Charlie Staines for the Tigers. And for Manly, we'll go Luke Brooks to get a try. Or no, I'll say a double against his former club. Because Luke Brooks is making his first final appearance for the first time in his career. And why not get a double or more against his former club? Anyways, Manly to win 1-12. Alright, now we move to our first 2 of Friday night games. The first one kicking off at 6 PM here in New South Wales, 8 o'clock over there in New Zealand. We have the 14th place New Zealand Warriors taking place against the 5th place Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. Last week, the Bulldogs remaining undefeated at home games 10-10, beating the Dolphins 13 plus 30 points to 10. And as for the Warriors, well, very disappointing. Very disappointing against Manly, losing 24-10 at 4 Points Park last Friday night. At the moment, the Bulldogs are $1.45 and the Warriors are $2.75 outsides. In the past 10 games between the two, Warriors have won 7 of the last 10. However, back in July, when these two played in a great game, Bulldogs won by 1 point from a Matt Burton field goal, winning 13-12 at a Core Stadium. But before that, Warriors had won 6 in a row between 2019 and last year. And also, the Bulldogs have also lost the last 4 games at Mount Smart Stadium. The last time the Bulldogs won at Mount Smart against the Warriors was in 2012, where they won 32 points to 18. So they've lost their last 4 games at Mount Smart. But they have won a few games against the Warriors 3 times at least between 2012 and 2023 at other venues in New Zealand. Anyways, for this one, I think it's going to be pretty simple. Bulldogs win 13 plus by 18. Scoreline, we're going to go 28-10. Try scorers for both Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, and for the Bulldogs, we'll go Jacob Kiraz. No, not Jacob Kiraz. We'll go Josh Adokar. Dogs win 13 plus. Alright, now we move on to the main event on Friday night, kicking off from 8 p.m. at Suncorp Stadium. We have the 10th place Brisbane Broncos taking on the 16th place Parramatta Eels. Last week, Eels, they were disappointing. They lost 38-14 against the Eels in very, very slippery and horrible conditions at Allianz Stadium against the Roosters. And as for the Broncos, they come off their 3rd and final bye. And the week before, they won against their arch rivals, the Cowboys, winning 42-18 after being down 18-6. I think that was a very impressive win for the Broncos up at Queensland Country Bank Stadium 2 weeks ago. And Broncos still have a small chance to still make the top 8 somehow. At the moment, the Broncos are $1.35 favourites and Eels are $3.25 outsiders. Between the last 10 games between the two, shockingly, Parramatta have won 6 of the last 10. However, Brisbane have won 4 of the last 5 and winning the last 3 games. Last time the Eels beat the Broncos was in 2022, where they flogged them 53 points to 6. And another thing as well, Broncos have also lost 3 of their last 4 games, versing the Eels at Suncorp Stadium. They have not beaten the Eels at Suncorp since 2019, where they won 17-16 at Suncorp. However, they did beat the Eels at the Gabba last year, 54 points to 10. So, who do I got in this one? I think it's going to be pretty straightforward, but I'll only narrow it to 1 to 12. Broncos have still got Ezra Mann, Payne Haas, Walsh might be out, who knows, but I think they'll still win this one to win by 1 to 12 by 8 points. Scoreline 24-16. And for try scorers for both Parramatta, we'll go Dylan Brown. And then for the Broncos, I think we'll go Cobbo to score. So Broncos to win 1 to 12. Alright, now we move on to Super Saturday, the first 3 games. Only 3 games, but the first of 3 games kicking off at 3 p.m. from the nation's capital for the last time this year at GIO Stadium for the Raiders. We have the 12th place Canberra Raiders taking place against the 2nd place Penrith Panthers. Last week, the Panthers coming off a loss against the Storm, losing by 2, securing the minor premiership for the Storm, losing 24-22. As for the Raiders, well, shocking against the Cowboys, and their top 8 of Surgeons is done. They lost 42-4 in Queensland last week. What a shocking game and what a boring game that was to watch. But obviously, Cowboys fans will be happy that they got the win. Anyways, Panthers are at $1.34 as favourites, and the Raiders are outsiders at $3.28. In the past 10 games between the two, Panthers have won 8 of the last 10, including winning 10 of the last 13 games between the two. And funny thing, Raiders have also lost the last 4 games against the Panthers at GIO Stadium dating back to 2017. Last time the Raiders won at GIO Stadium against the Panthers was back in 2016 in the semi-finals, where they won 22-12. So, not the best for the Raiders, but Panthers got a good record down there at the moment. This one will go one side as well. Even if Panthers rest players, Cleary, he will return some point, but I doubt he will return this game. Major blow, but Luai will step up and Brad Snyder will come in or whatever. So Panthers are still winning 13 plus by 14. Scoreline 28-14. Try scorers will go Xavier Savage for the Raiders, and Panthers will go Brian Toto. Panthers to win 13 plus. Our next game on Saturday kicks off at 5:30 p.m. at Amy Park. The last home game for the Storm of the regular season. We have the first place Melbourne Storm taking place against the 9th place Dolphins from Amy Park in Melbourne. Dolphins shockingly coming off a 13 plus loss against the Dogs, even in Queensland at Salter Oval as well, losing 30 points to 10. And as for the Storm, securing the minor premiership for 2024 pretty much, and winning 24-22 against the Panthers in Penrith last Friday night, my apologies, sorry. No, it was Thursday, sorry. At the moment, the Storm at $1.17, and the Dolphins are at $5.10 outsiders. That's a bit big for the Dolphins. And Storm may rest players. It's been confirmed by Bellamy that he will rest players for the remaining rounds. We'll just have to wait and see who he will rest for each round. Hopefully not, probably the last round for all of them, but we'll have to wait and see. Anyways, these two have only played 2 games against each other. First game last year, Storm winning both games on occasion, winning 24-16 last year, and then back in June winning 30 points to 24 in a high-scoring game at Suncorp. This will also be the Dolphins' first time down in Victoria. So as for this one, pretty simple. Dolphins still have a small chance, but the last 3 games they got tough opponents. The Dolphins have got Storm, Broncos next week, and then Knights last round. So Storm to win 1-12 by 12 points, 24-12 scoreline, and try scorers for both. Will Warbrick for the Storm, and Dolphins will go to Hammer to score. So Storm to win 1-12. All right, and our main game on Super Saturday, so round up Super Saturday, we have my boys in 15th place of South Sydney Rabbitohs taking place against the 11th place Newcastle Knights from Accor Stadium in Sydney. Last week, the Knights coming off they should have won against the Sharks, but they lost Golden Point 19-18 from a Daniel Atkinson field goal, and pretty much have ruined their top 8 chance as well. So, goodbye Knights season, along with the Raiders. And as for my boys, oh boy, where do I start? We got robbed. I think it was a forward pass, but some calls that went against us. That ref was shocking. Belinda Sharp was shocking. My God, if you guys haven't seen the vlog, go check it out. I've got my reaction in that. That was just pathetic. But obviously, we lost to last place. But it was a shit game, lost 18-16. But it is what it is, I guess. Anyway, at the moment, the favourites are the Knights at $1.52, and we are the outsiders at $2.55. In the past 10 games between the two, we have won 7 of the last 10. In the last 6 games between each other, it has been 3 games apiece. However, we have won 3 of our last 4 against the Knights. We have also won 6 of our last 7 games at Accor Stadium versus the Knights. Last time the Knights won at Accor Stadium was in 2019, where they won 20 points to 12. And last time out, Knights beat us at their home ground at McDonald Jones, winning 29-10. So, interesting. Knights used to have the head-to-head over us, and we've had the head-to-head over them recently, as we have won 12 of the last 15 games versus the Knights. So, for this one, I'm going to back my boys no matter what. I know we're going to have no Cody Walker, no Richie Cannon for the rest of the season. Walker's out with the HIA, so be interesting to see what will happen with our halves this week with White and someone else. I think Dean Hawkins. I'll go us to win. Won't be a good game again. Us to win by 8, scoreline 22-14. Try scorers, we're going to go Cameron Murray to score. And for the Knights, we will go Kalen Ponga. So, come on, Rabbits. Let's at least get one more win this season. Our last 2 games, it's not going to be easy, even if they rest their players. Rabbitohs to win, 1-12. Alright, we move into our first game of 2 on Sunday. First one kicking off at 2 p.m. from City Bus Super Stadium. We have the 13th place Gold Coast Titans versus the 3rd place Sydney Roosters. Last week, the Roosters coming off a big, huge, massive win over the Eels, winning 38-14 in treacherous conditions. As for the Titans, last week, Titans lost to the Dragons 32-16 at WIN Stadium, remain winless at WIN Stadium as well. And, yeah, they were just disappointing against the Dragons. At the moment, the Roosters are the favourites at $1.19 and the Titans are outsiders at $4.75. In the past 10 games between the two, Roosters have won 10 in a row against them. Yes, Roosters have won their last 10 games against the Titans, winning 10 of the last 13 games against the Titans and winning 4 of the last 5 games at Cbus. The last time Titans won against the Roosters and at Cbus as well was in 2016, where they won 26 points to 6. So Roosters have got a dominating record over the Gold Coast Titans. So just like that, Roosters to win this one, 13 plus by 22. Scoreline, we're going to go 32-10. Try scores for both, we'll go James Tedesco. And for the Titans, we will go... we'll go Kieran Foran to score for the Titans. So Roosters to win, hefty margin, 13 plus. Alright, now we move on to the last game of round 25. We have a rivalry game between next door neighbours, but unfortunately this game is taking place at Wollongong instead at WIN Stadium. We have the 8th place St George Illawarra Dragons taking place against the 4th place Cronulla Sharks. Now last week, Dragons coming off an impressive win over the Titans, winning 32-16 at WIN Stadium as well. And as for the Sharks, winning by 1 in Golden Point against the Knights, 19-18 from a Daniel Atkinson field goal. Now, unfortunately, Sharks almost lost that. They were behind in the second half, and they found a way to win somehow and remain in the top 4. Still have a small chance of falling out, but we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, in the last 10 games, forgot to mention, at the moment, the Sharks are the favourites at $1.61 and Dragons are $2.34 outsiders. In the past 10 games between two. Now, this is a rivalry game. However, Sharks have won 9 of the last 10 games. Winning the last 8 games in a row. The last time the Dragons won against the Sharks in 2020, and that was at Campbelltown. That was 30 points to 16. This is also the first time these two have played at WIN Stadium against each other since 2022. The Sharks won that 36-12. Usually these two play at Cogra and PointsBet as the grounds are really close to each other, but every few years they always take a game to WIN Stadium. The Dragons have not won at WIN Stadium against the Sharks since 2018, even though there's only been 2 other games at WIN Stadium since 2018, and that was 40 points to 20. But for this game, I can see an upset happening. I think the Dragons will snap the losing streak, winning 1-12 by 6 points, 24-18 scoreline. Try scorers, we're going to go Tyrell Sloan, and Sharks, we will go William Kennedy. So Dragons to win and secure pretty much 8th place to win 1-12. And anyways, guys, that's going to wrap up my round 25 NRL tips along with my round 5 NRLW tips. And yeah, and of course the Cowboys have the third and final bye. If you guys are new around here, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new around here. Don't forget to turn on those bell notifications so you'll be notified when I post a new video or a live stream. Anyways, guys, I'm getting out of here. Good luck with your tips this week. We've only got a few more weeks of the regular season left, and then it's finals times. And unfortunately, my team's not going to make it for the second year in a row, but we'll see how we go in 2025. Anyways, guys, I'm getting out. I'll see you all in the next one.